Hey, Crowners. Today we're just kind of relaxing since I was recording something else for a video, but like apparently it just fucked up. You know, OBS kind of fucked me, so I'm not gonna release that video anytime soon, at least. So to compensate, I'm gonna read, search of this, look around was it like the forums for Civox Populi and shit. So yeah, weakest medieval policy trees. Uh, probably approximately equal. No, not well. Fealty is great, especially if you're able to quickly stack up a ton of face per turn. But the thing is like the initial the opening is fine. Like I do like the monasteries and stuff. Decent start. But like for the first for the first policy tree within fealties, like uh to go for like armories and like culture and happiness for like fucking castles or some shit. It's like that's kind of weak. But other than that, it's like kind of decent. Statecraft. I mean, it's wonderful if you have like a ton of city states and you're able to like get like one or two under your influence, and ultimately you can have them as like a sphereling more or less. Especially when you get to World Congress or something. But like, I wouldn't say it's overpowered. Artistry. That's situational. That's situational. Maybe you can get like if you just finish a tradition, then maybe you can go down to artistry or something. Since like it specifically focuses on like specialists, especially when it comes to writers, artists, and like damn, I can't remember. Okay, but I know artistry is probably the most situational, but I think it's still good. So approximately equal. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay, artistry. Well, yeah, I could definitely understand. Um, so if you take the field to opener often, but then going fully fealty is weaker than either statecraft or artistry, you will still pick fealty. Yeah, that's my opinion. None of these questions are well posed. What does it mean to be weak? Artistry might be bad for Songhai, but good for Persia. Exactly. Ancient artistries, I guess, it's more meaningful because of how much difference between early games are based on the choices. But medieval, it feels like it depends on so many factors. Exactly, in my opinion. What civ are you? What ancient tree did you take? Did you? Oh shit. Did you attack someone or the nearby city states? Did you found a religion? Do you get any notable wonders? I mean, I don't know about the notable wonders thing. Like I, the wonders, the wonders that I have are not really dictated to any other. Like it may have like small change when it comes to like me choosing policies, but it's not like the fundamental main reason as to why. So I don't know. I don't personally disagree with this notion. All fair questions. Is there more variation in industry? Another poll. Oh, okay, another poll. All right, we might need to check it out. I would say then, with all variation above, if play ultimately you finish one tree much less than the others, that would be the weakest. Or if you thought one needed a buff, that would be the weakest. IRC said in the post artistry was the weakest because the powerful finisher would just win more, so you'd never be able to take it. Preferably stay crowded in the vast majority of situations. If you met half the city states, if I triple a fealty bonus, I would become the strongest tree. There may still be situations I prefer others. I can say teal colors are overpowered, but might not take them if I'm not expecting a lot of combat. I may do other polos in the future, but wait, you're the one who created them. Oh, okay. Okay. For the total, I do think fealties are weaker than the other two, but archery and statecraft are very specific. They're specific for the most part. So fealties overall the most generally good if you don't have any reason to go on the tree. Yeah. Yeah, if you're just having a mediocre game, well, personally, my second policy trio should just be either liberty, um, it's either liberty or art or authority. If I'm like trying to stack as much combat strength as I can, and maybe get like culture and science for just killing a bunch of people. But like overall, it's just like yeah, I genuinely agree that fealty is like overall like more versatilely useful. I also don't really get how I should measure if the tree is weak or not. Usually, when I pick a tree, it's best for what I'm doing. Like different trees are specialized enough now that comparing them directly is directly going against each other instead of comparing each other against themselves. Doesn't make that much sense. And compared to itself, I wouldn't say any tree is weak enough that it needs to be buffed. Yeah, yeah. Fully agree. That's why I chose approximately equal. So, found the poll right here for the same guy, MI6. MIS. Don't need to say that. So I already chose imperialism. I mean, look, rationalism will always be the best policy tree in the game, aside from maybe tradition or some shit. But like it's fucking useful. Okay, I don't want fucking. Sure, you could probably debate on this notion that like industry could be useful since like, I mean, it's opener essentially like your +2 trade routes, which I mean that's a great start. And then like, and for the most part, it's like the industry's policy tree is like middling. It's not it's not dog shit. Don't get me wrong. It's just like I don't think it's useful in the slightest. Well, nah, I'll take that back. I don't think it's that great either. You know, I don't think it's like it doesn't stand out like rationalism does because like science will always be important. You know, no matter what. But like industry does help, and like imperialism, like it only really helps if you're on the coast, which that could that only affects like affects it with like one policy if I remember correctly, which gives like what food production then like what was it? I think it just gives like food and production for like oceans and like coastal tiles or some shit. But like maybe like was like generates like gray atmos fast or some shit, whatever it is. But like yeah, like imperialism is fucking useless. Never been imperialism as I find taking industry also allows for a better economy. Yeah, same reason. And strong production allow of great law of public works should need rise. The only exception being Venice as they benefit more than the others for this trade. And they're maritime anyway, so the bonus on sea tiles that's not wasted. Exactly. Only pick industry open the industry open air for 2 trade route slots. Certain civs, the combination of some low science use and great merchants as finishers. But I think the problem more now is how good rationalism still is. Yeah, I fucking agree. I personally, I don't know how it should be nerfed, but I know damn well it should probably be nerfed just a little bit. Mostly for the happiness that it gives. For like specialists or some shit. I don't have many hours to play, but imperialism is great for me. When I try to conquer cities, I found out keeping all the buildings after I take a city lessens the happiness impact. This is especially helpful when we have more than 15 cities and go on the offensive. Or you can go to rationalism and solve all the unhappiness problems. Exactly. Literally exactly, bro. Oh my god. Or you can keep all the buildings, as much of the buildings from the conquered city as possible by just having a whole lot of culture. Um, by just having a bit of like what's it, great works, great artists and shit. I mean, it's not that hard to like keep most of the buildings for the conquered city. It's just that well, imperialism is not great for that. Okay, and just if you don't want, look, TLDR, keep building by getting better culture, better great work slots, and then you keep building, okay? Or you just go, like I said, go rationalism, solve the unhappiness problems and shit. By like pretty much just consuming the city's unhappiness and shit, and you'll be just fine. The only give imperialism is a little more happiness. Exactly. Because like here's the thing. If you're going full fucking Genghis Khan style conquer the whole fucking continent and shit, you're definitely gonna be happiness starved. Like the Teokalis, the churches, the cathedrals, synagogues, what have you not, they're not gonna help that much when it comes to maintaining those cities' happiness levels, more or less. Considering the fact that you already conquered them, it will take some time. First and foremost, you got annexed them. Then you have to like take time and just build core houses in them, and then ultimately, hopefully, the core house will consume most of the, if not all the, the occupied unhappiness shit. Then you just gotta deal with the fucking city itself. So, yeah, I personally agree with this. Both industry and rations currently have been happier, have better happiness bonus. The one imperialism is supposed to gear for very wide play. It easily runs down happiness problem the more you conquer. Agree. An idea would be to give like 3 or 5 turns of We love the King's Day in every city with a military cabinet on conquering a city for the first time. That was a little bit of happiness synergized as well, military theme. But then again, if you conquer, you probably have a lot of luxuries and a lot of we love the King days. Even if you do have a lot of luxuries, the initial occupy and happiness will pretty much put your ass down in the grave, put your ass on your ass. Um, because if you do have a lot of luxuries, and a lot of like we love the King days and all those sorts, you're still gonna be dealing with the unhappiness. Like best case scenario, you're gonna be teetering at like 50 to 60% unhappy, 50 to 60%, 50 to 60% happiness. So you're essentially just like it only takes like a few cities from like growing their population to like I don't know, but like one or some shit, and you are already unhappy. Yeah, yeah. Overall, I do agree with this notion. Because of ancient policy trend. Uh, well, if we're being brutally honest, overall, it's authority, in my opinion. Because for authority to properly work, you essentially have to have a shit ton of barbs, which means you probably have like barb spawn increase by like a shit ton in order for that to be the case. Since for the most part, it's like the barbs are usually like a low speed bump, annoying ass speed bump that you're gonna have to go over and shit, especially if they spawn nearby and all that. Progress is easily second, and like first. I mean, look, then first place will always be tradition. I mean, it gives free pop. Like it literally gives free pop. So I don't know, Chief. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say authority. Oh, that's okay. Okay, interesting poll. That's quite even. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Okay. Weakest policy. I never thought that it would be tradition would be voted as the weakest. I mean, I guess weakest strike is more of a map thing and a difficulty thing. So my bias and modified melee is slightly bigger. 14 cities with less mounts for making more for easy for AIs. And DoD, I think authority is the weakest and progress is the best. Sometimes tradition is best, but rarely. I may be better at micromanaging tiles every citizen birth than multiple units on tiles. Deity, big maps make authority weaker, because 1. Economic bonuses to compete, not fall behind early more. The militaries which will not do anything to the AI very much. AIs will grab more and faster barb camps. Authority bonuses are really weak in ancient classical until medieval. For 4 yields, you'll need to have all 6 policies, which go in tradition, which go in 2 tradition delays. Renaissance even. You can have more better, not easier, but more stable. Let's say games by progress. Authority, then tradition, then authority 6. In my opinion, authority losing production scalar, what's very bad for it. Focus mostly in versus authority. It's about why uh it's about why do you want to make your turns long. Progress is production tech and citizen management. Authorities rotate troops and continue counter damage. Progress is fun to play. At least every victory type and spacious type open, and people try tradition Indonesia with goddess festivals. You'll find it hard to go back to Progress Authority Indonesia ever again. 100% agree. 14. Well, I actually do play something similar along those lines. Although I don't really change the terrain for like mounts to spawn less. No balance at the moment. If I have to choose one, I say Progress because I play on Mortal 16 Sift. I'm usually forced to build units instead of buildings. Fair enough. I voted Progress wasn't a bad idea, it's just weaker than the other two. It's also the one that I played the least. I just don't want to give anything to boost anything like the others do. A free worker? With tradition, you get extra pops. Exactly. Exactly, my guy. Eventually, you get a work rank 4, which I'm pretty sure is, they're referencing the great workers slots, if I remember correctly. Authority just drown you in early. Important, kill units and free seller. Killing unit per tile per turn or 2 gives you a yield equal to or greater than the production yields of science and culture. What is not to like? They say I rarely finish an authority, but I usually run to the mix of Austrad. On yields for kills, the free seller, or however you want to see it, it costs culture if you will, and possibly the healing and production boost. I don't care about the authority wonder. It's limited scale. I don't tend to go for a lot of cav. The traditional wonder seems better, and also a note of free pops and eventual working of ring 4 of the capital. I find that hard to beat. Also, it's a something kind of had to be worse. That's something else, unless they are equal. Oh, am I retarded? Also, it's a list it's a list, so something kind of has to be worse than something else unless they are equal. Okay, and they're not. All right. I was just bugging out. Progress may be better in the long run, but in the early games feels worse of the three. I don't really recall what the progress render does. It's a Forbidden Palace, I think, but overall, I can't really say what I would gain or make from picking progress. There seems to be low initial gains, so workers working faster, not really an issue. Perhaps I just play some more progress games just to see, but I doubt that's changed. It has to have something or give something that edges out what author trad gives, and it just does not feel that it does. Tell you on the level. Why would I pick the other two? What would I pick it over the other two? They have clear paths and what they give. Progress. I can't really tell what I gain from that. From it, that wouldn't be better if I picked on the others. Picked on. Okay. Picked on of the. Yeah. Okay. Gaining science too fast in the early game is not good thing. I personally disagree with that, but okay. Personally, I'm a wider player, and my picks mostly depend on the civ. If it's trad civ, then I go tradition. But with every playable nation that's ambiguous, I always need to go for progress. I just don't think tradition is strong enough to compensate for other expansive and yields, considering most of those bonuses are geared towards your capital, much less so in your other cities. Since I don't play up to patch, and my games are modded to oh hell, you have to take my opinion with a grain of salt. I don't remember the wonder for tradition. The University of Core. The Forbidden Palace is good if you're playing somewhere around Emperor, King, since you usually have the opportunity to expand, and as such will have a lot of gold for the policy tree. So the gameplay well, you get rich from culture birth. Kind of surprised that progress is currently most picked. I guess it has to do with map settings as well. In my games, Emperor Command 2, okay. Yeah. I find progress is the strongest tree, and is a topic between tradition and art authority, depending on whether the civ I use is suited for either. One thing I like about progress is flexibility. With tradition, you kind of have to pick a victor type pretty early with the progress. With the early on, but with progress, the options are open for all VCs. But being able to work at the fourth ring tradition is pretty nice, but I don't think it's much of a factor. To be honest, a massive disagree, massive fucking disagree. If you take tradition, you're most likely working mostly specials anyway. Yeah, that's kind of me. I'm also surprised progress is so low. The bonuses from pop growth and quick workers makes you able to expand and upgrade resource tiles quickly, which majority of the time are better than most of the early buildings. As I said, it's quite flexible too, giving me the option for warfare or growing tall if passive aggressive expansion wasn't in your cards. Authority for me is very feast or famine, so it has the highest skill floor in the sense that you need to be able to recognize if you can stay aggressive to keep up. Tradition has two pops, starts, and early yields, but mid-game around medieval don't give much to snowball compared to the other trees. By the time you finish your GA or GP, ball hasn't started rolling yet until late medieval or Renaissance, when you should start catching up with the height of AIs. Progress provides low yields and turns, authority gives the largest, provide you play optimally aggressive. Got no proof except feels from the dozen playthroughs, while statistical analysis the same playthroughs. But different policy choices, it all comes down to opinions, which is bad. Anyway, positive progress is normally the weakest. It has highest strength comes from the common, combining the Forbidden Palace with Industry and stock exchange for the total 6 discount on all purchases. It's a very strong strategy, offsetting the relative weakness of progress, but requires winning the race for the Forbidden Palace. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Low yield turn. What the fuck is this bitch? Well, this guy already did it. Jedi. It's actually one of the most legendary quotes from VP forums. I've never seen something so disagreeable or agreeable in different experiences than mine for. Also, opinions are bad. Everything, including balance, changes our opinions of feelings you have in the game that something is off of such good. Also, there are statistical analysis that are born statistics for AI games, warmongers are actually at the lowest. Progress provides the largest yields or slash turns because it provides the basic scaling. Anything each era first turns in 100 is 100 times better than anything later. If your micromanagement turns 0, how? It provides them up front. You should rush 3 cities, 6 production, 3 gold, soon 9 plus. A worker, faster monopolies, a very fast 6 and 9 science, and then food. Why is progress strongest than the other source for me? The fact that authority gets more cultural science normally by taking a city in modern doesn't matter, because if you had gone progress, you would already snowball much harder. The long-term culture and gold ones are offsetting a lot of authority have. Progress is something you can get really strong in. The strongest you roll the good terrain, Monopoly, Pantheon, it can get rolled online quick, Progress is also the one that's the best if you have the most favor. If you have not the most favorable environment, in my opinion, there are splits. There are split. What's the best? They are split. What's the best? Okay, mistypo. Best energy for mostly people's progress. I don't think aggressive is optimal. What is this supposed to mean? I doesn't like the AI matches I mentioned. I think it's about the time you gotta spend on a game to achieve victory, especially on larger maps and higher difficulties. I don't think it's any role play reason. I don't think it's for fun. You got some peace, some more, some defense, some peace, some expansion, etc. I don't think it's for replayability. Always authority wants if someone wants to be optimal, I think it isn't for pure fun. Checking things across the map every turn is just unfun. 50-50. I remember in my Celts game when I was trying to like beat fucking Grayson's shit, and that fucking what was it? That hyper war where I essentially nuked him near the end. I essentially had to drag like I had like at least like 10 CLs making a shit ton of units. Then I essentially when those units pop out, I essentially had to fucking micromanage essentially all the units, which I think I had over 100 units real quickly. So it was just fucking pain. It was paying for me to move the fucking was like the motorized troops from north to south, and it took like fucking 5 turns, 5, 6, or 7 turns or some shit. Especially these bazooka boys. Well, it wasn't that bad for the motorized troops that had promotions from the Pictures Warriors, but ultimately it's like, look, I say that's 50-50 in my opinion. Like it can be fun if you're fighting like a mega war or some shit, but like the other half is like, bruh, and also about the fact that like by the end of the war, if you did win or like you fucking lost some shit, you're gonna have to delete some of those units anyway. Since one, you're trying to make as much money as possible, so you can start purchasing some buildings, lowering their production costs. Two, you're gonna need the gold maintenances or the surplus gold maintenance for I don't know, like for those buildings whenever they build. They're gonna cost like fucking 4 gold per turn. And then like for the arsenal, the military academy, hell, even the barracks, like they all cost gold for every building in the game. So in essence, is like you're gonna have to delete some of those units. But usually you delete the way I delete the units is like if they have like the least amount of promotions. Because like if I have like this god tier, this trooper, this goddamn base conquistador, um, who conquered the earth. I think personally speaking, you should at least try to like maintain those units, those kind of units. Just delete the least promotions, or if they don't have any promotions, just fucking automatically delete them. Okay, that's my opinion. I think VP is made precisely, among other things, to take a step away from always for optimal four city tradition strategy and beat NW City 5 vanilla. It made the fact that we are bigger and better is the proof that it worked. We can play in many ways, win many ways. There's so many providers, there are places to be surprised, other than have different opinions. And they work for them apparently. Like many other times, the prize probably was being picked on at all. Or some mention it had not not having early yields. And maybe it's not how it's supposed to be. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. We have a we were having a contest for the journals ages ago for the exact same challenge deity fun game. One star save, we play until some turn and compare different city placement policies, etc. Maybe another one would be interested. Now we can have something down the road. Wait. Maybe anyone would be interested. Now we can make something down the road. Okay. To which we respond to, I really don't want to argue much. AI is bad at war. Building ready units and doing sieges that is mostly AI warmongers are so bad. Vern's AI stats have a low correlation with human performance. E.g., Venice is one of the strongest cities, in my opinion, because it's a very strong warmonger due to very high supply caps, stemming from lack of supply penalties for cities. Venice is the greatest defender. On deity conquest is necessary to win for me and yields from killing units and conquer cities. Strongly outpaces progress yields roughly from mid-late classical onwards to late game. I typically start a war in the first 20 to 60 turns, try to conquer neighbors quickly. Yields from border expansion gives 2-6 production and gold per turn per city throughout the game for me. Outperforming progress in this. By optimal, I meant the most reliable way to win, not counting fun. I'm sure being very aggressive is that. For me, Warmonger is the most fun, so it overlaps, so I'm happy. And yeah, and those are our opinions, but not based on stats. That's why I said it's bad. I don't have a solution that isn't very time consuming. Only pointing out that arguing like the one I'm doing here has low value because there's no proof of my statements about authority and progress yields. Like the idea of a parallel playthrough, we could do a progress via authority deity, standard speed, size, etc. with a civ of your choosing. What do you? Okay, bro, forgot the Y. Okay, whatever. What do you mean by +3 gold soon +9? Where is the 1 gold city turn giving the 3 gold coming from? Oh, I agree with your points about progress. I just think tradition and authority are better. I always thought of authority as weakest. I'm not pro by any means, but it seems authority seems very front loaded to me. With this kind kill yields, but nothing to really back it up once those kill yields are wiped out by policy, tech cost inflation. It's great if you got a close neighbor to expand into, but otherwise leaves me lagging well behind by the time I get to choose my policy tree. They'll never blend policy trees for the same area, so I can't speak about how authorities kill yields combine with policies from tradition and progress. If I were to buff authority somehow, I'd go for something that boosts something besides raw military strength, maybe culture and science deals for the unit garrisons in cities and forts. Uh, yeah, that's a good suggestion, but like, I think another buff would be massive, massive percentages, like maybe like 500% for like unit promotion or some shit. So like they get like speedrun for like woodsman, amphibious. Maybe you can get like cover two, like damn near immediately as soon as it comes out, as soon as it pops out from the city. In general, I think there's a bit of conflation with aggressive warmonger and authority. Like the correlation makes sense, but it also causes people to talk past each other. The AI is worse than a competent player at warfare, meaning we get a multiplicative edge when fighting a war. The AI is also tend to be extremely disagreeable since I come back. It's basically impossible to stay friends with AI, not even one's not intending to win by conquest and parity with you. Every time I try to play peaceful, I'm now declare war upon or forced to declare against AI that spam endless missionaries at me, take my lands, citadels, or otherwise behave like awful neighbors. That makes warfare desirable and authority supports warfare, and authority is actually better at warfare than progress. I lean towards yes, but I feel like part of what is at the center of the discussion. Similar, the worst part of a tradition is that it supports classic gameplay, and EA doesn't support that. Generally, when I start a tradition, I feel great until the EA starts being jerks again. At the end, it's a, well, here you go, killing it again moment, and wants to pick authority. I look, for the most part, I 100% agree with this. Like, I hate this idea that, I don't know, perhaps like fucking Japan or some shit, taking my land for citadels, for the great generals and shit, and they keep sending missionaries, bro. That happened to me recently in one of my games where essentially Greece kept fucking sending their Orthodox missionaries in my fucking capital, and like I'd essentially have to waste fucking faith, which I could be saving for scientists, great scientists, and then like I just fucking, oh my god, it almost makes you want to declare war on them immediately until you realize that they either have a massive military force or they have massive military buffs, which pretty much lends your ass to just do fucking nothing, just take up the ass. This really emphasizes to me how warring your neighbors is usually the ultimate play, no matter what tree you pick from my experience. Since being at war is kind of a debuff to the AI, they will always relocate resources to the war effort, regardless of the chances of conquering you, making it easier for you to keep up with them. If you prepare for the inevitable war, roads or forts, which you should be doing, and they aren't declaring war on you, you should be declaring war on them. Even if you're just going to chill in your territory while moving your troops around to match enemy movement. The player is usually able to weigh out the war with minimal losses, having farmed XP on the AI and being able to slow them down in infrastructure. Ideally, this cripples late game skew warmongers in particular, since they're significantly easier to deal with and will not get to be a threat during their spike. This strategy is effective by currently countering to this, and tradition makes you want to greed buildings and wonders while avoiding conflict as much as possible. But on high difficulties, that gets you killed very fast, contribute to tradition feeling weak. Even though I think tradition is weaker than the other two, and very much a go-to choice for several civils, regardless of geography. All this is just some experience. Interested to read what others think. Wait, hold up. An automatic mod patcher for FIFA. Holy shit, hold up. The store is a Python paste automatic patcher created with the help of ChatGPT. Updates from mods string based on rename text key. Okay. Remains compatible with Vox Populi 5.0. I use it to play the Python script in. Hopefully, I might just just wait for like the official update for Vox Populi 5.0 to come out because look, I'm not smart. I'm not smart when I say this. I am look. I admit that I don't know what the fuck to do when it comes to with the new update right here, or the new version, I should say. That likely here. Here's what I had to do. Which are too stupid too. So yeah, yeah. Look, I'll just wait for them to release or some shit. That's fine. Wait, hold up. New beta version. I remember the first version. Beta version is here. Hold up. Oh my god. I should release the mod pack. The regular mod uses the auto installer. Oh shit. Well, let me see. Okay. Okay. Oh, hold up. All right. Oh. All right. Oh shit. Okay, hold up. Hold up. I gotta see this shit real quick. I just installed the beta version. Let's see if it. Oh, it'll give me some time. So yeah, I installed the beta right here. Hopefully, give me a minute. I might. This might take a while. So yeah, pause for a minute. Holy shit. Okay, hold up. Oh, I want to see mine first. Hold the fuck up. I see new buildings. Armada. So usually, Corvettes. Uh, is this okay? Uh, so Santa Maria gives 100% of the combat strength of defeated enemies. It says great admiral points. That could be nice. Oh shit. It's invincible. Oh my god. Invincible plus 6 base combat strength if the unit started the turn with full HP. Okay. That's holy shit. Holy shit. Oh, did they change anything? No, they didn't change anything for the hacienda. Like Satch. So what's the ball ring? Let's see here. Automatic build when found to save the game starts an information error or later. Okay. Completion 500 science. Completing public works plus 10 turns of We Love the King Days. Let's see, start the We Love the King Days plus 100 gold culture faith scaling the era. Triggers or enhance the following historic events. Oh shit. Okay. What's supposed to replace the zoo? Okay. So I'm assuming it has more bonus. Yeah, it has more bonus. Yeah, it's more of like fucking yields overall than the zoo. Okay. Um, did they change anything about the conquistador? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think they changed anything. So yeah, still a good unit. Tarkon. Bellum alert. Can move attacking. City attack penalty. Wait, so heal all Justinians to the same team by 15 HP when pillaging improvements. Okay, that's something. Could be useful. Was this okay? Replaces the cavalry. I just replaced the horseman. Okay. Wait, so hold the. Okay, and what about the Altiker? Reproduction, culture, happiness. This replaces the Circus Maximus. Okay. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna end this right here. I might play soon. As I'm done. Yeah, I might just play right now. So, yeah, if you guys enjoy, like and comment. Sorry for the I kind of apologize. Fucked up earlier. Apparently OBS fucked me over. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. If you do the love watching my content, please subscribe. Kindly, please. But anyways, yeah, Croner out.